Hello everyone, in today's video we're going to be redesigning some of my followers' Sonic OCs. I asked my followers on DeviantArt and Tumblr, and I asked them to post a picture of their OC and a brief description describing their backstory, their powers and whatnot, and I would choose the ones that I thought could be improved upon, and I would try to redesign them just based on the parameters of the description and still try to keep them faithful to the original design while also changing some things up a bit. I don't want this intro to be too long, so without further ado, let's get started. Our first submission from Tumblr comes from @Monty'sDrawStuff. Their OC going by the name of Katana the Iguana, which is actually a pretty cool name. I like the alliteration. Katana the Iguana, he's a ninja, chill, airheaded, while also being a master of the blade. He forgets what day it is a lot and destroys opponents in a single slash. He can heal injuries at the cost of his blood, even to the point of growing back limbs. Also, he can repair his blade when it breaks. Okay, pretty good description. Really nice OC, I actually really like the art. I like the all blue color palette. I am getting some ideas just off the top of my head. Maybe we can lean into the blood aspects of the design a little bit more, kind of foreshadow that in some way with the design. And apparently he's a speed type character. I know iguanas are pretty big. I think it'd be cool if Katana was actually pretty big for a lizard, or like, you know, just a little bigger than like the average Sonic character, but he still moved like extremely fast, like in like small bursts of speed. That would be actually pretty cool. Another thing I actually really like about the base design is the lashes. The lashes are actually pretty cool. They almost look like face markings at first, but when I saw that they were at like, you know, like eyelashes, I was like, yeah, this is a very pretty boy right here. So I actually like that a lot. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started and see what we can do with that. As I said before, I am making him a bit more bulky because I thought it'd be cool if this guy was really top heavy or kind of bulky looking, but could still perform great bursts of speed in order to cut down his opponents. In terms of the overall outfit, I did get rid of the mesh leggings and armbands on his body and just replaced it with more stripes because I thought it would balance out a little bit better. And as you'll see in a moment, I actually get rid of his circle stomach patch and replace it with a diamond to kind of mirror Espio's heart shape, so they can be kind of like, you know, a little cute little pair of playing cards. Another thing that I noticed is that a lot of people ship their OCs with Espio or just have them be part of the Chaotix, which was a big theme that I saw in the submissions. A good number of people's OCs are actually involved with the Chaotix or shipped with Espio, which I thought was pretty funny. As you can see here, I kind of simplified the spines on the head and back just to make them more streamlined. I actually changed the eyelids color. Instead of being the same color as the skin, I'm making them the secondary blue color that I'm going to add for the stripes and everything, just to kind of give them that, like, I guess kind of like eyeshadow look. It'll really give off this like pretty boy eyes vibe. As it got down to the color, I actually made the scarf and the sides of his cheeks and eyes all red to kind of balance out the color palette a little bit more. I gave him a darker shade of blue for the stripes and for his eyes. I also added some more green to his sword, and I gave him back his little green cheek pouch because I thought it was a nice addition to the color palette. And I also made his socks white. Another thing that's not on here that I will add later is that I thought it'd be a good idea to whenever he grows back a limb from like regenerating a body part, it'll actually make like red scars along his body that will like represent like where his arm got cut off. So if he gets his arm cut off at the elbow, a like red scar will show up where his arm grew back from, and as you can see, I'll add that later to the towards the end. And there you have it, folks. This is Katana the Iguana, reimagined and redesigned by yours Julie. And thanks again, Monty Draw Stuff, for your submission. Alright, on to the next one. The next submission we have comes from Sienna Ditbot. Sienna Ditbot. I'm sorry if I butchered the fuck out of your name. Sienna Ditbot from Tumblr. This is their OC. Their OC goes by the name of Slushie the Arctic Fox. She's a gentle artist who, after some tough times like the metal virus, wants to be able to protect others, so she's learning basic combat, mostly kicks so she won't hurt her hands, from Team Chaotix, who get ads from her in exchange. She cannot cook to save her life, but she's an amazing baker. Space is basically her muse. She's emotionally driven and overheats easily from both physical and mental reasons. And yes, I ship her with Espio. Celespio, my beloved. The first thing I immediately took notice of is, of course, the mention of the metal virus. So this does take place, or their OC takes place in the IDW world. Another thing that I noticed from her reference sheet is that she lives in Winter Park, which is the level, I think, from Sonic 4. She is a baker and an artist, and she is learning to defend herself with kicking and stuff. Other than that, she seems to be like a pretty normal Sonic character, like in the world sense, like in terms of like she doesn't really have any powers. She's just a girl who bakes and draws shit, and that's totally fine. So yeah, we're gonna see what we could do with her, and I'm going to see if I can, you know, put my own little spice in it. So yeah, let's get started. The first thing that came to my mind was leaning more into her fighting prospects, and you know, because she's really good at kicking, I thought it'd be pretty cool to incorporate some of Chun-Li's, you know, fighting style and like poses and everything into her design. In terms of outfit, I wanted to go with something sporty. I took a lot of inspiration from Tangle the Lemur from the IDW comics. She has like this like Adidas kind of like form-fitting tracksuit underneath like t-shirt, and I thought it was really cute, so I wanted to try something like that. I also experimented with giving her sort of like a ponytail, but as I kept going through with this initial drawing, I even made it like so far as the line art and like the coloring, that I wasn't really happy with this, because it kind of just feels like I was just like, I don't know, it just wasn't what I wanted. I tried some like other sketches of putting her in like different poses and different outfits, and it kind of just felt like I was just, you know, taking a character and just playing dress up with her. It was like just putting her in different outfits. I did experiment with like her hairstyle and her outfit a little bit in some like smaller sketches, but overall it took me a good while to figure out what I wanted. I even tried putting her in like a big coat, as you can see on like the bottom there. Another thing that was bothering me is that I felt like I was moving away from the character description, because I'm trying to follow the description but just do it my own way. So I remembered how in her bio she mentioned that she was a big fan of space and she was an artist. So I thought it'd be pretty cool if she also kind of experimented in making her own clothes. So I ended up putting her in this kind of overall denim skirt that I thought was pretty cute. I gave her some space themed shoes and shirt. And for the shoes, I actually gave them these metallic parts to them, because I wanted them to feel like they were made of metal. Because I think it would be really cool if she had like these big kind of metal training boots that she had on, that she like always like wore. So that way, like, they're like, oh wow, these shoes are like really heavy, right? And that could also help with the impacts of her kicks. I also rendered her like little water bracelets and everything, and yeah, so I feel like she turned out pretty good. And there she is, Slushie the Arctic Fox. In hindsight, I feel like I could have done a lot more to differentiate my design versus the original one, because it barely even looks like a redesign. But thank you, Sienna Ditbot, for your submission, and who knows, after this video I might take another crack at Slushie here, because I feel like I could have done a lot better. Alright, on to the next one. This next one also comes from my Tumblr, and it comes from @JadenForNow. And JadenForNow actually submitted 2 OCs, which come as a pair. The first one is Jaden, a green hedgehog who loves adventures, and his best friend Malik. And sometimes he uses a gun for his entertainment in case he gets bored, and uses his gun to shoot dummies. He also has an EXE form called Janofangs. Malik, the brown hedgehog, is Jaden's best friend, and he knows that they also kind of have like the same brotherly dynamic as Sonic and Tails. Malik also loves adventures, and he likes to study in his lab sometimes, but not all the time. And he also knows that his shoes are also similar to Tails. They're lime green and dark green, and that's really all the information I get for Malik. One of the first things that came to my mind with these two, because of like the references of like Sonic and Tails, is that because their dynamic is so similar to them, that going into their designs, I'm thinking that they should kind of complement one another. Sonic is blue, Tails is like a yellowish orange, they both wear red and white shoes, and I just thought that would be a really cool way to go into this design. So 2 hedgehogs who have a Sonic and Tails like dynamic. I'm pretty sure I can do something with this, so without further ado, let's see what I can cook up. So when I first saw these guys, I don't know why, but I thought that I thought they were wearing vests. I don't know why. Maybe it's because of just like how they were drawn a bit, but I kind of thought that the brown and green parts around them, their body specifically, were vests, and I failed to realize that the middle part was like their stomach, like how Sonic has. I just thought they were wearing their vests, and because of that, and the fact that Jaden is using a gun, for some reason in my mind that equated to cowboys, or just like, I guess, like outlaws. I have no idea why, so that's the angle I kind of went for. So as you can see here, after doing a mock-up of Jaden's base, I started drawing him a gun. Because of the whole outlaws thing, I decided to go on revolver. For his spines, I kind of wanted to change them up a bit so he doesn't look exactly like Shadow. Initially, I decided to like keep him the same shape, but just kind of like offset his quills just a bit. And instead of stripes, I just decided to make his quills, I think, just like a red tip. For Malik here, at first I wanted to give him like overalls, but I decided against that and decided to go with a similar outfit to Jaden, so they can be like, sort of like a matching pair. It was around this point that I decided that these sketches looked really off and really like thick for no reason. I wasn't doing a really good job with the sketches here, so I decided to start over with a more loose approach. I made them a lot smaller initially, and I decided to do it in black instead. With these smaller sketches, I was able to get a more precise image of what I wanted them to look like. As you can see down there, I started with Jaden first. I kind of widened his stance a bit and switched his gun to his other hand, his left hand, but overall I kept his outfit pretty much the same as the initial sketch. I changed up his shoes a bit, and as we move on to the line art and everything, with their color palettes being brown, yellow, orange, and green, the first thing that came to my mind for some reason, I thought of apples. So I gave them kind of an apple-like color palette that I thought could complement both of them so they could share some similar colors. As you can see here with Malik, I gave him a smaller and more youthful appearance because he's supposed to be the tails to Jaden's Sonic. So I went with a slightly smaller body, bigger head. For his spines, I pretty much kept them the same, but instead of having 6 spines in total, 6 spines in total, like normal Sonic, I decided to give him 3. So he has like 1 on the top and like 2 on the sides. And to reference like the yellow from the previous design, I gave him like these, yellow spines. And from there, it was just touching up everything and filling out the colors. And there you have it, Jaden and Malik for @JadenForNow on Tumblr. Alright, on to the next one. The last one for today was submitted by Goira 007 over on DeviantArt. So thanks for your submission. Their OC goes by the name of The Alchemist. Abducted at a fledgling age during the earliest days of Robotnik's battles with the Freedom Fighters, this mongoose was chosen to be the subject of an experiment on Robotnik's part to create a unique sort of cyborg, a sleeper agent implanted with a sort of roboticizer bomb that would detonate once the agent had integrated itself into the enemy camp. Unfortunately, Robotnik would never get the nanites to stabilize once inside the host, so the project was scrapped and the mongoose, who seemingly died from the infusion of nanites, was disposed of. However, unknown to Robotnik, this subject survived, now a disfigured cyborg with unstable nanites, and thus the ability to change his robotic parts into different shapes and weapons, but only for a limited time. The Alchemist, with a twisted loyalty Robotnik infused into him by the nanites, has spent all these years since then perfecting his power in the hopes of making his father proud of him. This is actually a really cool and interesting backstory. Probably, I think, one of the most original backstories I've read for a Sonic OC like ever. Some powers that they also list for the character is that, like I said before, they're able to like shapeshift their robotic body parts to make weapons. They're able to keep track of a wide variety of details at a very fast pace and calculate strategies quickly based on those observations. Some weaknesses is that they're mentally unstable, poor at hand-to-hand combat or close-range combat, and they're actually really slow. I think for this character, I'm going to take a lot of inspiration from Bunny Rabbit, as she was kind of like a cyborg, as she was a rabbit who had some robot limbs, and maybe Mecha Sonic for some additional inspiration, because the biography said he was really slow, and even though Mega Sonic is built for speed, he's definitely one of the more bulkier Metal Sonic designs I could take inspiration from. So I'm really excited to see what I can do with this. So as we start off here with the sketch, I decided to put him in this kind of intimidating, like, villainous pose, like he's walking up to you. In addition to using some of Mecha Sonic's parts of inspiration, as long with Bunny Rabbit you see in a second. For some reason, I thought it would be really cool to make this guy like just based on Golden Metal Cooler from the Dragon Ball Super Heroes anime. I don't know why. I know Mecha Sonic is voiced by Cooler in like all the sprite animations like Super Mario Bros. Z. So I just thought it would be really cool if he was like Cooler. I've also incorporated some like Mega Man kind of parts into him, especially his arm cannon. I just thought it'd be pretty cool. I gave him like this big shoulder collar piece, kind of like fourth form cooler, that I thought was really cool. I gave him these like really big boots that I took inspiration from or reference from Sally Rabot. I incorporated some of the like cords and stuff that were sticking out of the Alchemist from the original design. I also looked at a lot of Nina Mongoose colors, so I like colored him like her like yellow. He also has a beard in the original picture, so I decided to keep that by giving him like this brown muzzle kind of beard. My favorite part of this was definitely the colors. The main color and like the energy that he's using in the reference photo is green, so I decided to make that the accent color of all the gems and glowing bits going around his body. And here it is. This is the new and improved The Alchemist. Thank you so much, Goira007, for your submission. I had a lot of fun making this from beginning to end. I hope you like your new OC. Alright everyone, that is all the time we have today. I think I still got 1 or 2 submissions from this round. I apologize if I did not get to you this time, but I will definitely make sure you are first in line for the next video. And I'm sorry that this video took so long to make in the first place. College has really been kicking my ass so far, and let's hope that the next one doesn't take as long. Thank you all so much for your submissions. I had a really fun and awesome time seeing everyone's OCs and trying to put my own spin on it. Thank you all so much for the participation and tuning into the video. I'll see you all next time. You all have an amazing day.